Good evening. Welcome to my channel, Ken's Hobbies. My name is Ken Lind. Well, I thought I'd better get the rest of the footage done on putting the manifold on to finish this last video captured with this last camera. Well, at this point I'm starting to drop things right, left, and center. My back is bothering me. I'm lifting that thing onto there and getting it to that position. Show my tools back in the box. 2 clumps of garbage. I gotta take a break here. I don't know if I'll get back to it or not, but I gotta stop now. Well, it's the next day. My finger here is getting worse, so the sooner I get this thing back together, the sooner I can get in. I have to get that surgically removed here. I can hardly touch it anymore. So, as I was left off, the puzzle of the vacuum hoses. Well, fortunately, we do have a sticker right here that is color-coded of where all the vacuum hoses go to. So we're going to trace that out and follow it through. I've got all the coolant hoses in, so before I bolt that manifold down, remember when I took it off, talking about that back port there. And so I was thinking about this last night, decide now's the best time to fill up, put the old juice in it, check for leaks in that manifold, make sure it's not cracked. So I noticed in editing my video, in the first part of this, I started the videoing, the camera was a little too low and you didn't get to see most of what I was doing. So I'm going to raise the camera here just a bit today and see if that makes any difference. I'm trying to learn how to angle this camera in capturing there. Like I said, it'd be so nice if I had a camera person, because you get into something, you don't think about, or you forget about the camera, or you think that you're in shot till you go to editing. Well, I started thinking, well, that could be part of the reason too why I'm not getting the views, because my videos aren't showing the details where I'm at or what I'm doing without me saying. And a lot of times I get involved or thinking on how to do something and don't think about commenting of what I'm doing. So here we go anyway. Let's start with getting some, as Derek calls it, ice cube maker. Now I was lucky on this. My buddy Richard had a whole file there, donated it to me because he has no use for it anymore. That's another thing too that I noticed with doing, especially my vehicles in my driveway. This street is the main drag to 3 basic key areas that are south of me and up on the hill on the south side of me. And yesterday the traffic was extremely heavy. Now here's the secret in pouring your antifreeze in. Pour it slow and you don't get no air bubbles. You get far less air leaks if you go slow in your pouring. There is another trick to pouring it faster, and that is by disconnecting one of your heater hoses that go to your heater core. That was one of the first things I was taught in my apprenticeship, pouring of your antifreeze. Okay, I'm going to put this first jug upside down, and I'm going to check the camera position, see if it got it. That is, if I can get the jug to stay here somewhere. Yeah, don't want to do it that way. We'll put the jug this way. Okay, let's have a look here. Just as I thought. Okay, reposition the camera once again. Okay, there we are. If I could just go maybe touch more up. Okay, what I'm thinking of, what I should do, tie a little string in front of the lens that I could stretch out to my key point. Anyway, that's my first jug in. I haven't put a hose clamp on this one yet, so I'll show you what I mean about. Now we'll pull that hose off, and that'll remind me also, don't forget to put 2 clamps on that one. Okay, let's get the next jug. Now you turn the jug sideways so it doesn't pour fast. This is about the speed you want to pour it in at. As you can hear, it's starting to come there, so now we keep the eye open. Right here. Get this out of the way so we can lock that hose there so you can see better. And now here, use there, so we stop, double up. And see, we have a leak somewhere. Now the question is where? That's what I thought. Well, that's lovely. That's lovely. I don't like that at all. Leaking right below here, between our thermostat and our lower half of that intake manifold. Okay. Well, we got in. Go back to inspecting that. I'm wondering, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, it's not the case. But, that does not make me happy. Picked up the nut that I dropped yesterday, put it where it belongs, and I got to pull the thermostat and check that housing closer. Now let's get my bucket here, drain bucket. I'm going to wash that out too. Not this clean stuff getting that dirty stuff. So, still got hooked up somewhere. Wash the old engine down. Okay, that's what I was washing down. Drain bucket here. Okay. Well, we know we can stop at that point. We don't need to fill it up anymore.
Kenny,
Hello.
need an extra hand for anything?
Which hand?
No?
Yeah?
You do? Okay, I'll be right over.
Maybe offered to help. I'm gonna grab him on that assistance. Because of my down finger, I have to do closer inspection at the base of this thermostat housing. That hose to the side. Turn this hose here. You can get a better view inside there. And this little bypass hose is the pain. Put the clamp on the hose so don't lose it. Bypass hoses are the hardest ones to get on and off. Yeah. Looks like it's right there. We got a little bit of a leak. So that's the point. I don't know if you can see it here. Where I'm pointing my screwdriver is the point where we got a little dripping going on. Then we'll wait till Mikey gets over, because with that finger I can't get the grip I need to pull that hose off. And I see it's changing color on me too. I don't like it one bit. Right there, when I touch it, it's like if somebody took a knife on me. My bucket's quite far enough in. I'll get a little more so catch whatever's in there. No, I'm going to shut the camera off at this point.
I'm going the right way. I'll put it over this thing.
Undoing comes towards me. As you see, you'd never get the I always go to call it an air ratchet, because for over 20 years I've used air before battery ones were made. I had to laugh at the video I was watching just the other day. Derek, Light Strip Grass. He says, well, it would be nice now if they had made some kind of a battery-operated tool that works like a ratchet when you're restoring a barn find Corvette. So I wrote a comment. I says, oh, Derek, you're way behind times because they're already out and I have a Ryobi. I want you to spin out once if you get it loose enough.
That will. There's just a wire there.
Yeah, ground wire. Isn't that a real pain in the ass?
I don't even feel like I'm turning it.
I hear clicking it. Yeah, those Freya ones are the only two were the front ones here.
It doesn't feel like I'm turning it at all.
What does it take to take that coin to wipe the motor assembly off? Move this harness out of the road here and have a better luck. See if we can get some free room. Does that give you more room?
Sure. Give me a little bit more room.
I see what's happening. I see what's happening. Give me that air ratchet with the extension. Put that wire on. Should be shot.
Where's the extension you need?
That long extension you see me, it's on the air ratchet.
Okay.
There I call it air ratchet again.
Yeah.
When you get so used to for so many years calling it one thing because that's what you use mostly in the trade, air tools.
Right.
And that's why I keep going to call it an air ratchet. Battery ratchet.
I don't know how you're going to reach in there.
That's where the wobble joint comes in. Okay, should be able to get it out.
You want the wing right off of there, eh?
Take it right off, wire and all.
There's the wire. Then there's a piece, another thing attached to it, Kenny. Another bolt that's holding the wire
Oh, for
down.
sakes.
Yeah, there's another one that's holding the wire down. That's why it wasn't turning.
Ah, I see. I wonder why a mechanic drinks. You know, mechanics are rated the second worst alcoholics.
Yeah.
When I met Judy, that was pretty bad there. I was already there. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
My third.
Problem with that thing is it's loose already, but it's not
Until
gonna.
Crystal was born, I didn't really realize it.
Yeah, you need pliers or something to take it off.
Yeah. That's all right. Called elimination. Probably why it's been repaired before. Because that tells you right there, that's your clue that it's been repaired before.
Still gotta get that off of there no matter what.
That's right. And what's screwing us up from getting it off?
It's loose, but it's like still.
Well, it's the hose clamp itself on this main hose.
Because it's gauged in there somehow.
Yeah, sure. Quarter-inch ratchet
In the shop?
with a quarter-inch socket is needed. The last mechanic that did this, again, was not thinking about the future.
I think this is what you want. I don't see any ratchets there.
I just remembered I have the ratchet here,
That's what I
but I
thought.
need the socket.
If you don't have it in there, then this might be the one you're looking for.
No.
No.
What size drive is that?
1/6.
No.
3/8.
You're going to learn something right here, right now.
I'm not. I used to know my tools, but right now, I don't
Okay.
know your toolbox for one thing, and there's only one
Don't
big
matter.
ratchet in there.
Don't matter. There's 4 different types of ratchets and pry bars.
You got a big ratchet, and that's it. Because your other one was over there.
Quit interfering and listen.
Okay.
That's your biggest problem.
Sure, what?
You don't listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. The smallest ratchet is that.
Yeah.
That is a quarter-inch drive.
That's what I thought, but I'd never seen it.
This is the next size up.
Yeah.
That is a 3/8 drive ratchet.
If I would have looked in your box, I would have known exactly.
The one you saw in my box is a 1/2-inch drive.
The big one.
The big one.
Yeah.
Now there's one more after that 1/2-inch, and that's a 3/4-inch drive.
Okay, so there should be another.
So when somebody says quarter-inch, this is what they're talking. If somebody
small
says
part.
1/2-inch, they're talking which ratchet?
The big one.
And if they say 3/8, which ratchet?
That's the medium. Yeah. Okay. I'll see.
So I said quarter-inch drive, quarter-inch socket.
But it has to be a long one?
No,
Short
I
one?
don't have a short, long one.
That's where I was confused. I was looking for something long.
I would say, and those are called deep sockets.
Give me that ratchet and I'll find the proper one for you right now.
Okay?
Give me that ratchet and I'll find the proper one for you right now. If you don't have it.
I don't have one. I know that for a fact. I don't have one here because the majority of these are metric. Never mind, Mike.
Found it?
No, I did a little forcing.
Nah, I was looking. I wasn't sure what I'm looking
I
for.
just documented this for others too.
Okay.
That was the first lesson I learned too about hose clamps. And I'm passing this same thing on to you.
Yeah.
You saw how this hose clamping. You just ran into the problem you run into when they're put incorrectly.
They were put in correctly.
Instead of putting it this way, 2 reasons. Can you get that in there?
No.
Why do you think I was hollering for a quarter-inch socket?
Mm-hmm.
Because how much room is there from the back to this firewall?
You were able to get it out though, eh?
Yeah, I just use the old pry bar.
Mm-hmm.
Force it out. Always, when putting a clamp on, make sure you can access it and leave it for others. So it should have been this way instead.
Well, it wouldn't have been you that did that because you
No,
never
it
went back
wasn't
there.
me. This is about the 5th one I've run into on this job.
I wonder how they managed to even get it there.
They probably pulled the main skirt off. But it's simple little things like that. It's not only for yourself. You might be the next one working on it, but what about if it isn't you?
Yeah.
They don't think about the other person.
Right.
That was one thing I was brought up from a child. Think of the other person first.
Mm-hmm.
Now you should be able to get that bolt out.
Okay.
And it's not quite all the way undone yet.
So I was using, what tool was I using?
It's not quite all the way done.
Should try the gun on it?
No, because it spins at the fingers. And there's another tip. I'll teach you on when putting it together. What to do to prevent this kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And if that would have been done, you wouldn't be fighting like this again.
I'm not used to seeing motors, or working on motors.
Eh?
I'm just used to helping people when they want a hand. I don't think I've ever seen one of these taken out before and looked at it.
Well, it's driven by your camshaft.
Yeah.
You see what the problem is?
Oh yeah. What, this shit?
That's right.
Yeah.
Because a person over tightened this, and with age, it seals itself.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you go to undo it, well, it undoes the whole stud.
Yeah.
So the only way you're going to get that free now is like this. You got to get one wrench,
And then another.
and then you get the other one in, like that.
And break your hand.
Now you see what I mean?
Yeah. You want me to try it?
Now it was some strong person that did that.
I could feel it moving, but it's stuck. Yeah, there's no way to get it.
Yeah. You know, where's the brains? We had one apprentice when I was working in Northern Toyota. His name was Hubert Nesty. And taught us oil plug for draining your oil.
Yeah.
Every time we come to change it, they used a giant head on their oil plugs.
Yeah.
Unlike a GM engine, which only uses a 9/16 wrench,
Yeah.
I always used a 15/16 wrench. Well, we watched Hubert because every vehicle we got in for an oil change, we had to take a snipe to the wrench to break the oil plug free. And we were after Hubert. Quit tightening them damn oil plugs so tight. He said, well, I don't. I just put them finger tight. So we watched him one day. Just took his wrench, like this. Next time the oil change came in, now Hubert, let's see your problem. That same vehicle. To undo it, not one of us could undo it. I said, okay, Hubie, you put this oil plug on, you take it off. Well, he ended up having to use a snipe bar, and that was his lesson about over-tightening. Well, the same thing happened here.
It's like it's welded, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Superman
he
might be
could
able to do it.
He
but
could even put a dab of Loctite on
Superman might be able to move that, but I don't think so.
and who knows, he might even put Loctite on it.
Yeah. Once it's sealed, man. That's it.
Because of big ground connection there.
Yeah.
So that answered your question of why you see the yellow tab on there. Okay, you should be able to lift that out now.
It's supposed to lift it?
Yep. Lift this together. You get on that side, just like that, and lift it out. And that's beautiful. And talk about a clean engine with over 200,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Look at that. This is
Where's
what,
the gasket, Kenny?
just put it upside down on the ground.
Yeah.
Good, we saved the gaskets. But now, what do we got to do? The first thing you got to do here, before going any farther.
Super glue.
Nope.
Something else to pull out?
Nope.
What are we doing?
What do you see in the back ports?
I see water and gas.
Right. That's the
Tranny
first
fluid.
goal. Now, to get that out, you don't want that in there. Because if you don't clean it now, the minute you put that back together and turn it over there,
Yeah.
no, don't touch the gaskets. We didn't destroy the gaskets. We can reuse them.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. But we got to get that water out of there. So find a rag.
Inside's gonna have to be cleaned pretty good too.
Find a rag
Yeah.
and cover this up.
You have paper towel or what?
No, I don't. I have.
And you got a little rag here and that's it.
I got all kinds of rags in that bucket.
Which red
And I
one?
had two.
This one?
Yep. There's the rag I was looking at right there. You gotta get a rag here. You don't want any old dirt getting into the oil. And that's the reason you cover this portion up. Especially this distributor hole here. Okay. Air gun. Should be right here. Now
Stand way back.
watch yourself.
You won't get it in your eyes, you got glasses.
Okay. Part is the water jacket. Very front part is the water jacket.
Could be dirty.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's what they are. 2, 4, 6, and 8. So that's why they were the way they are. But it gets me low enough so we know that we're safe now. So now we move our rag here. Again, we keep that covered up. Now, where's that small rag you had earlier?
That was a big rag.
Oh, you had a small one here.
Oh,
it's right here.
Right beside you.
And we'll take the small rag, stuff it in here. Now that is at a reduced voltage.
Oh yeah?
So less current. I want to get all the...
What's all this white shit here?
That's what I'm questioning, the very same question. I need another dry rag.
There's a small one if that's all you need.
That's all I need. Now we just let it dry. So while that's sitting there, let's go wax and grease remover. This is what you use before you paint the vehicle.
Oh yeah.
And Derek has the best price going on it. So I ordered off. It's through the YouTube channel he has, Bicycle Garage. I'm going to interrupt here and saying I'm terribly sorry about the video, putting no video. I did not realize there. My mind started wandering about thinking of the next steps. Not even thinking about aiming the camera to what the items we're going to do in the process of removing the lower half of this manifold and cleaning it up and so they could inspect the bottom of it. So when he had the contest on the Ford truck, he found and rebuilt, updated it a bit, was giving it away. And to enter the contest, all you have to do was buy a product, and for every product, the amount spent for every dollar spent was, how was it? Every $5 spent gave you 10 entries for this truck. So I said, well, I got to do the car. I want in the contest. How do you open this thing? Oh, I see. It's got a spout in it that you can just do that.
Oh, that works. It looks like gas stripper, eh?
It's right. And that's why I say keep it capped.
And your coffee cup's down there if you wonder where I put it.
Oh, geez, I forgot all about it. Okay, let's see how good this works. Oh, hey, does that ever work good?
And it's better than the sandpaper job, eh?
No kidding. Well, I'm going to have to comment to Derek on that.
Can't do that with a wire brush.
Well, Derek, I am very impressed with this product. Okay. I can't see a crack there at all. Can you?
Where? No.
Dripping on the bottom here.
That's where it is?
Yeah, that's where it's dripping from.
Might be in that gummy seal shit that's on there.
That's what I'm wondering, if I didn't get that silicone on right.
What about in there? There's a space right in there.
Why Ford has to put him on the side to begin with is bullshit. Once again, my apologies for no video on the last one. I left the audio so that I could explain what I was looking for and why. The steps, basic steps taken. How do I work this? Let's try again. I left the audio portion on there to try to explain and tell what I was doing and why and what I was looking for in removing the lower half of the two-piece intake manifold, because we ran into the problem of a leak on the bottom side of the intake manifold, and that's why I had to pull the lower half off to do better inspection on it. Also want to say here too, a couple of things here. As I said before in my last video, this will be my last video until I get better camera and a camera person. And there's a good example right there in this video, last portion, of why I need a camera person. Your mind gets wandering away and you're thinking about different things, and so much on the mind at the time when you're doing especially a job like this, that you can't be concentrating on every last little thing. And I forgot to adjust the camera to what I was doing and where I was at. The issue that we ran into there in the removing there, that we heard us discussing about, was on the back of the manifold, laying like this. There was a stud at the very back that bolted the dome, but on that stud was a two-piece stud. I will explain the issue. Suppose this screw was the stud. Well, at the top end here, it was double nut on this end here, with a wire that was bolted down here that was a ground, and that's what was holding us up from lifting it out. That bolt was so tight on the top here that it would not break free by holding a wrench on the bottom nut and a second wrench on the top to try to break this two pieces free. So I ended up just snipping the wire off, and that's what the issue was in lifting there. And furthermore, with my back condition the way it was, I was glad Mike did help me, because we had to lift the manifold straight up, and I can't do that anymore, because when you're off to the side, it's either one way or the other way. So that's why I had him stand on one side while I stood on the other side, so we could together lift it up. So, getting back to the video itself, as you heard me say before, I need a camera person. I've just got to admit it, and I can understand now when especially in this one, in editing it, why I don't get the views. And as you heard in the last video I posted also, with Casey Liddell explaining about YouTube on how they push your channels or not, and GAW works on viewers, the amount of views you get. Well, with the last 10 videos I've got, All of them are in the single and double digit figures, except for two. One was about 10 videos ago, reached a 3-digit figure. And the biggest one so far this year for me is the second last movie. Darn bugs that are buzzing in front of the eyes. Where was I? Oh, the second highest number, and possibly the highest one I've had this year since the year started, is my tribute to the Martin Mars. It's also in the 3-digit categories. And the funny part of it, surprising part about with me, even though I mentioned it in the video, on my last video, well, I gotta change that a little bit. Just after I posted that video, I had 10 views on it. The following day, it shot up from 10 views, and ever since it's been going non-stop. But almost an overnight, it went from 10 views right up to 156 views. And it's still climbing. And then the last video, the one with Casey Liddell, back down 2 views. 6 days, still 2 views. That is not worth my time. When I saw that, and I did say if I see those numbers come up, that I would there. So I had all this footage already taken, and I cut all the tail end off of the where we were discussing the looking the manifold over and discussing it together. I eliminated all of that because all it was at the point there, so I just cut it in half pretty much. So I appreciate all those who did subscribe, and I'll say once again, I don't know when my next one will be. No promise on it. Oh, and one more thing. The software that I've been using for doing the making my videos, it was Video Pad I was using. Well, this has been a real battle editing this last video. And I'll tell you why. I've had the software, I had no problems at all with it until I got a notice saying update available. So I updated it. Yep, that was a mistake. It's been nothing but troubles, constantly shutting down on me, losing the audio. I got there, I kept having to close the program, reopen it, closing it, reopening it. Furthermore, I was only paying month-to-month fee for my license for it. Well, at the end of the month, that license runs out, and I'm not renewing it. So another reason I had said, okay, I gotta get this, at least get this final part of this manifold task done, so that you know where I'm standing with getting the car back on the back in running condition. So I'll say at this point, thank you for watching. Thank you to all those who have subscribed. And finally, do like, do subscribe, go ahead and share. Till the next time, adios.